Hello, everyone. I am so excited that you are here checking out this video with Michelle and I. Michelle is our company vice president here at Park Lane, and I'm just thrilled to be able to share a little bit more about Park Lane with those that are just here to check it out. And maybe it is something that you didn't know you wanted to be here to check out, but we're excited that you're here. So
Yes.
I just want to ask Michelle 4 questions today because these are the 4 questions that we hear the most over our time in this industry. So I guess, Michelle, first, before we get started, tell me just a little bit about yourself. Tell me about your background with direct sales.
Yeah. I got started in direct sales. At this point, it's about 23 years ago. And at the time, I was a teacher on maternity leave. And I had a 6-month-old baby. And what I wanted was to continue to be a teacher on maternity leave. But at the time, we were paying a COBRA because my husband was the one in sales in those days, and we were on my health insurance. And that was going to cost us $600 a month. So my husband was like, if you could just do something that will bring in that $600, that would be so awesome. And then you won't have to go back to work full time, at least not for now. So I said, okay. I had hosted a party. It was a different company at that time, but I hosted a party and the girl told me that she made $200 at my house. And I was like, oh, okay, well, if that's the case, I guess if I do 3 parties a month, I'll have the $600. So that's what I did. I bought a kit, and in June of 2000, so I guess I'm really coming up on my exact 23rd anniversary in direct sales, but and I did the 3 parties and I made $604.62. And my husband and I were like, oh, so it really is just like that. You plan the amount of shows for the money that you need. So then we were like, let's see if I could do $1,000. I guess if I do 2 more shows, I got to have $1,000. And that worked too. The month after that, somebody joined my team and I was like, oh, wait, they pay you for that as well? So like, who knew, right? So now, as it turned, thank God I did that, because as it turns out, I was already pregnant again. So I wasn't going to be going back to school in September. Well, fast forward, I ended up doing that for the next 14 years. And then at the 14-year mark, I just kept building a team and doing more shows and building my income and all the things. And then Park Lane actually called me and asked if I'd like to take a look at their programs, because Park Lane has a program called Direct Appoint, where if you are an experienced leader with running a team and all of that, that they will interview you for a leadership position similar to where you already were. So I had never heard of such a thing, but I figured, hey, I'm in business and I'd like to hear what's out there, So I went on the interview, loved what I heard, and bam, that was 9 years ago. And here we are. And I am apparently on the world's longest maternity leave, making way more than the $600 a month. Because, you start with one goal and you adjust accordingly as your life and your family and things change. And this is the type of business that you get to make all kinds of those decisions. So here we are, and I get to be here at Park Lane selling jewelry and hanging out with amazing people like yourselves.
Yay! That's so awesome. I always love to hear your story. It's always such a relatable one in so many different aspects. So the question really is, why direct sales? Like, why would you choose that? Why do people choose that? What does that look like?
Yeah, it's funny because some people aren't even familiar with what the direct sales model is. And really what it is it's just basically cutting out the entire middleman, right? So Park Lane doesn't have to have stores and air conditioning in those stores and furniture in those stores. It's just direct to consumer. We go from Park Lane to you with us in the middle showing the jewelry, right? We don't keep inventory here. We're showing samples. What you order goes from Park Lane straight to you. So direct sales really does allow you to make lots of great decisions for yourself and your family, because you don't have a boss. You have a leader who helps you, but they're certainly not your boss. You're the boss. You get to decide what your income is. You get to decide when you want a raise and just look at what does my next raise entail and just go do that. Or you can just sell more and make more money. Like, the freedom and the decision making and the control that you have in your own life and in your own finances is really what makes direct sales an unbelievable place to be.
Yeah, I feel that. I have 2 small children, and I'm just so grateful for the flexibility side of that
Yeah.
to be able to, decide when and how and where I can, work my business, so I'm so grateful for that too. So
I love watching you with that too. Like Jen and I joke, well, I joke to Jen all the time about how like we're like the before and after picture because her children were very small when she started, infant, same as mine. And she grew even faster than I ever did. She's like even better than me. So, I've just had such a great time like watching to continue to watch her business grow and help support her and her team as part of our overall organization because I know what her and her family can have because I've been in those exact same shoes. And I love to do that with everybody on our team.
totally, yeah, I'm so grateful for the support that we have, and, um, there's a lot of these businesses out there. If you are familiar with direct sales, you know that there's a lot of businesses out there, but why jewelry? Why would you choose jewelry,
It's true because you can sell like literally anything,
right?
probably, right? Now, why jewelry was a question I even had to wrestle with, right? Because my previous company, to be clear, was not jewelry, the total opposite of jewelry. So I really did have to kind of assess why jewelry. And here's what I've learned jewelry is easy to ship, easy to store. Most women and many men consider jewelry a necessity because think about even your own shopping habits when you purchase new clothing for a season. Very often you're like, I need a necklace for this top, I need earrings for my cousin's wedding, I need a bracelet for my niece's graduation for a gift, right? So everyone wears jewelry, it's never going anywhere. King Tut wore jewelry and has it in the grave, and we wore jewelry all through COVID. People say, oh, nobody's getting dressed up. No, but they were working on Zoom in little squares just like this, looking at themselves all day long and realizing, I need earrings, I need a necklace. We never looked at ourselves more than we did during all of those years. And many people are still working online.
Mhm.
So jewelry is it's an industry that is beloved by everyone. Everyone is our customer because men buy for women, men buy for themselves, women buy for themselves, women buy as gifts, women buy for children. Everybody is a customer or a potential customer. So jewelry is the way to go.
I saw this random video where a gal had told herself she was not buying any new clothing for an entire year. But there was 2 things that she allowed herself to buy throughout that year, and that was jewelry and shoes, because she felt like that those were the things that were gonna be able to get her through that year to change up her outfits and shop from her closet. I mean, we all have so many things in our closet that we don't wear that we could pull out and just change it up with accessories. And that was very eye-opening for me, even though, I've been in the jewelry industry for many years. I preach that to shop from your closet. And yet to hear her say, I did not buy jewelry for an entire 300
You know, by clothing.
I'm sorry, clothing.
Yeah.
Sorry, yes, clothing. But I allowed myself to change things up with jewelry.
Well, they say that the last things you put on are what you get your compliments on as you walk all around. And isn't that the case? Think about it. Oh, I love your necklace. Oh, I like your bag. Oh, I like your shoes.
Totally.
I love those earrings. Even your lipstick, you put that on last too, right? So that's what it is. Accessories is where it's at for sure.
Yeah. So why Park Lane jewelry?
Yeah, that's really the main question here,
Yeah.
right? Why Park Lane jewelry? And it's so important that if you're going to want to make money or any kind of career or living out of selling jewelry, that you're working with a company that has the programs to support your dreams, right? Now, many of you may have already taken advantage of at least one of Park Lane's programs, which is the customer sale, right? So probably through this party or however you came to watch this, you've shopped with us, which may and if you haven't, or if you have, either way, right? Our sale, you're getting half price pieces, you're getting bonus items, you're getting crazy style drops where you're getting a $250 bracelet for $30 with a $40 purchase. Like all these amazing customer specials that have people go crazy time and week and new color after new color. That's a program that keeps you as the stylist in business because people want to come back shopping. Now, so we have an amazing sale for customers. Now, there's two things that we know about women. We absolutely have men as stylists and customers, but I'm just going to focus on women for a second as definitely the majority, right, of who we're working with here. Women, we know two things about women. Number one, women love a sale. Number two, women will tell their friends about an amazing sale or anything amazing, right? How many times have you experienced anything amazing, whether it was the service at your pedicure place, whether it was the service in a restaurant, a movie you watched, or an incredible deal you got on a whole set of jewelry? Oh my goodness, I got earrings and a little dainty necklace. And because of that, I was able to get this double necklace at half price. I was able to get these rings for $30. They were originally $120. I don't even know how this happened, right? So they're like, that's why they have parties, because they still have a big list. And who wouldn't be proud to turn to their friends and say, I found us the best deal. The jewelry's gorgeous. The girl is so much fun. The stylist is so much fun. And you're going to love the deals. So that program, the sale is what makes women want to host the party. But then on top of that, we give them free and discounted jewelry for doing so. Now think about that. A store like Kohl's would be smart to do this, right? How many times have you told your friends about something on sale at Kohl's? They went and bought it. Did you ever go to the register and be like, hey, 10 of my friends just checked out and bought that throw pillow. So can now I have a $400 gift card since 10 of my friends bought pillows? You'd be paging security to the register and escorting you out of the store, right? Like, why would this lady think she's getting 400? But did you know that when you have a Park Lane party, you get free credit no matter how many people order, but when 10 people order, you're getting $400 in jewelry credit because you allowed us to meet 10 of your friends who choose to shop. So that program is what keeps us in business, because when you choose to host a party, you're allowing us the privilege of meeting your family and friends, trusting us to share the deal, trusting us to work out the best specials possible, and to help your next friend and family member and whomever have their party. And that's how 23 years later, or in the case of Park Lane, 9 years later, I do shows that I did a show a couple of weeks ago, was I think her 6th party with me in 9 years. So I have many, many repeat hostesses. But then also at that same party, I booked a show with somebody who had purchased at a previous party but never attended. And when she came, she said, I didn't realize how much fun I was missing. And now her party is next Sunday. So that these programs keep it going. And guess what? That's why I saved the final program, which is our pay structure and our perks, for last. Because even when I went on that interview, where they, were having that leader interview, and they didn't start by saying, we start you at the highest commission in the industry. Because in my head, I would have immediately said, I don't even know if people will want to purchase this, because why jewelry, right? The first question we talked about. Right. Well, now I know people are going to want to buy this because of the sale. It's a great deal. They're going to want to host because they're proud to share a good deal with their friends. They're proud of the quality of the jewelry. They're going to host parties, which is going to keep me in business. So yeah, the pay is going to be amazing because they're going to pay me. And in my case, more than my other company was paying me. And I'm going to have amazing sales and a full calendar of shows. And that has been true for 9 solid years. And for that matter, since 1955, which is 67, I think, years ago. Park Lane. Why Park Lane? It's a family-run company. And when I say run, what I really mean is family-owned and operated. So Arthur and Shirley started the company in 1955, but their children are now running the company, and the grandchildren are running the company because they range from children to adults. And so we have 3rd generation family members day-to-day operation, writing our paychecks, designing jewelry, sending communications, running trainings. This is who's there. So because the Levine family has been so serious about their family legacy for 67 years, I can trust it for my family legacy. So that's really why Park Lane, because those additional programs, in addition to that high rate of pay, it's not just the percentages that are high, like the starting percentage and that you can go, the percentages you can go up to, but it's also that as you build a team, they pay you on every single one of those people. If any of you have ever had any dabbling in direct sales, that's a big deal, right? You've ever been in direct sales where people on your team quit and you demoted, you knocked down in pay or knocked down in title. That's terrible. I've been there. Most companies do it that way. Not at Park Lane. We don't demote. We don't lose title. None of that. Other companies have one incentive trip a year. We have two. And Jen and I have traveled to many international and domestic destinations together. And I'm talking high end. We're talking, the tropical ones like St. Martin and Aruba and Key West and things like that, and Hawaii, but also Zurich, Switzerland, and, Italy, Greece, all kinds of amazing places. And that's on Park Lane's dime. We have a Mercedes car program that everybody at first level leadership begins earning, not just executives. So it's the free jewelry every single month. Everyone's always like, oh my gosh, do I have to buy all that? You're going to start with a $99 kit, but you're going to get paid on the launch party we do for you that gets you started. You're going to earn free jewelry. You have the opportunity to earn $1,100 worth of jewelry, anywhere from $250 to $1,100 every single month. That's why you're able to do so many giveaways and fun drawings and whatever. Mm-hmm. So the programs are just stacked upon stacked upon stacked, that sometimes you say to yourself, there's like a funny little phrase where it's like, if it sounds good to be true, it must be Park Lane. And it's like, my customers say that to me all the time. They're like, we still don't understand how you give so much away. And I kind of find it comical myself. I'm like, listen, if I don't give it away, I'm going to have to just start tossing it out the windows. There's so much jewelry. So that's why Park Lane.
And I love that, like, the free jewelry, especially that we get, it's not like just when you're starting, right? I know that some places it'll just be like, oh, for your first, X amount of weeks, then you get free whatever. This is forever and always, every single month, no matter if you're brand new or if you've been here for 20 years. Like, you have the same opportunity to earn all of that free so that you can be generous with it. And I'm so grateful for that, because that also helps to grow our businesses also. So yeah, you packed in quite a bit about why Park Lane, and there are so many favorites in there for me too. Of course, the travel. I always speak to the travel personally for my husband and I. Like, that as a young family, as a young couple with little children, going to these 5-star, exquisite dining experiences. It's not even a trip. It is an experience. It is not something that I would have ever, really, to be honest, dreamt of in our first, 10 years of marriage, that we can say that we've been to all of these incredible places.
No, literally, when you tell people you went to Zurich, don't people go, what?
Zurich?
My husband works in construction. Now, no shade at all to construction workers. Okay. My dad's also a construction worker, but it cracks me up because he's at work. Most people from New York go to like the Bahamas on vacation. I love the Bahamas, and I love those types of trips, but when he was at work, he's on like a New York City construction site. And where you going on vacation? And he's like, Zurich. And they were like, what? Like, at no time, whatever we have sat at our kitchen table and been like, okay, where should we go on vacation? I brought my two of my 3 high school and middle school age children at that time. The other one couldn't go. Don't think I just excluded him. He had lacrosse trials. Anyway, but to have an experience like that, if we were like, kids, where do you want to go? Nobody was going to be like Zurich. But to this day, the two that came with us are like, that trip was amazing. And they still bring it up. I bought pretzel rolls the other day, and Anthony goes, oh, I feel like I'm back in Zurich. This is so delicious. How
Right.
do you like that? That
Right.
was in 2017.
Yes, experiences. So it just can't speak highly enough. So really grateful for all of those things, from
Yep.
family owned to all of the things that we also get to experience. So, here's the really ending question is, why now? Why is now a great time to start a business with Park Lane?
Honestly, if you're thinking about it, that means the time is now, because why now only means if it's not now, you're continuing to think about it, you're continuing to sit on the fence, and that gets awfully uncomfortable really quick. And if you're somebody who's maybe attended, maybe that you're watching this and you've attended like 3 parties already, or you've hosted twice, or whatever, and every time maybe this isn't even the first time you've watched us have this chat, right? And you're like, oh my gosh, I've been thinking about this on and off for 3 weeks, for 5 weeks, for 2 months, for 2 years. It's time to try it, because nothing bad happens. Again, the kit is $99. For that, you pick out $500 worth of jewelry. You get your website for a year. We do a launch party for you. You keep the paycheck at that launch party. You get the hostess jewelry at that launch party. So in the end, you generally end up with well over $1,000 worth of jewelry, about a $200 to $300 plus paycheck. Where's the part where you feel like you lost out on something? It's impossible. It's impossible. So even if after that you were like, or maybe even at least do the parties that we get booked for you, we help you do another couple of shows, and if at that point you're like, what was I thinking? This is so not for me. Then all you're going to say is, I'm so glad I tried. This is not for me. I'm going to go back to being your customer. Done.
Cool.
But what if it's not how it plays out? And what if you're like, oh my gosh, this is amazing? And some of you will try this and do it for a reason, right? Like maybe the reason is, my son wants to go to a very expensive baseball camp this summer. It costs $1,200. I will do 4 parties, make $1,200, and I'll have the money to send him to camp. And you may say, that was terrible, but I got the $1,200, and that's that. I'm going back to being a customer. That could be a reason. Now, sometimes the reason turns into a season, right? Where you're like, actually, now that I paid that off, we really could use a new living room set. Why don't I save up another $1,200? I'll do 4 more parties and I'll buy us a living room set. Then you're sitting on that couch and you're like, I guess I could send a few more emails out and book a few parties. And the next thing you're doing is you're buying yourself new patio stuff. This is how it turns into a season, where maybe all the years your kids are in elementary school and who's got to have a day off or this, that. Okay, now you're with that. And then sometimes the season turns into a whole different lifestyle change. Jen used to have a really stressful job in politics. Now, I don't know if there's ever been a time in history that I would not want to be working in politics, but that's what she was doing. And guess who's not working a stressful job in politics anymore? Now, many of our team absolutely works this alongside their full-time job, and they love it because it either provides the weekly pay, whereas their regular job pays every other week, twice a month, once a month even, or their job is a stressful type job. This is their fun job. They love to just, be with the girls or have fun. There's a huge range of everyone. We have business owners that incorporate it into their business, all kinds of things like that. But at no time are you signing a lifetime commitment by trying the business. You're just simply giving it a try and seeing how you like it.
Yeah. Yeah, it really is as simple as that. Michelle talked about coming in as a leader. I came into Park Lane with 0 experience at all. I didn't really even know quite what I was getting myself into, but kind of was like, you know what? I'm going to try this because my lie was I needed to get rid of my student loans.
Yeah.
I wanted to get rid of those as quick as possible because I was over it. I was over making those monthly payments every single month. And so that was my, reason for joining, and I did that. Like, to
Yeah,
click that final payment button, that is the most magical experience that I wish for everyone in any kind of, debt circumstance, is to make that final payment. And that was my why. And then I got to change my why. And then I
yeah,
got to help my husband get through grad school um, with my Park Lane income. And like Michelle said, walk away from that other high stress job. And Park Lane is my full time income and job now. And I
so
am
amazing.
so grateful for that. So yeah, I love that there are so many reasons why, but really coming down to, let's just try it. Let's just dive
Yeah.
in and try it. So I did want to throw in one quick bonus question, Michelle. And what does it look like for support here in our organization? I often get asked that as I'm helping mentor my own team. But what does that look like as we work in tandem with each other as a
Yeah.
team, and the support that we get here in our organization?
Yeah, and it's unfortunate that I do find that the reason people sometimes have a bad taste about direct sales is that at one time they bought a kit of some sort and like that was it, and they were just supposed to figure it out, and that is not happening here. So the fact, first of all, the launch party right there is your first like base level of support, where we're not expecting you to just go do your own first party, right? So your leader, your recruiter, whoever is going to do that first party for you and hold your hand through the whole process with the inviting, the words to use, how to get the additional orders. Then after that, we teach you how to do that, and you've been through the process. So we have a whole like onboarding system of, here's step one, here's step two. We have our weekly trainings now because, first of all, technology is a thing. And because our team is coast to coast, north to south, everything takes place in a format that everyone can participate, whether it's Zoom, Facebook Live, any of those types of things. So that's a weekly opportunity. There's leadership growth opportunities. There's the trainings that take place with the leader above us. And, so there's a whole system. We have, sometimes people say, well, I'm not great. I don't know how to make all those pretty pictures. Yeah, that's because we have a team resource that everyone uses and then just personalizes the words and things like that. So we're here for you with all of that. And at no time are you just being told, have at it, good luck with that. Because Park Lane pays not just your personal commission at high rates, but the leadership overrides as well. And with that, I know at least in this organization, we feel a great responsibility to earn that pay and to earn those overrides and to make sure that we are helping you reach your goals the same way that each and every day we're working to achieve ours.
Awesome. I love that. Well, thank you so much for taking the time to chit chat a little while and answer these few questions. So, if you have any questions about anything that has been said here, feel free to drop it in the comments here, or look either of us up on social media and send us a private message. And we would be happy to just further have communication with you and answer any questions that you have. So, hope you have a wonderful day, and we'll
Thanks
chat
so much,
soon.
everybody, for joining in.